So right now, between the three of you guys, we have people that are involved in helping acquire money. Obviously, in your former role, like, policy and, in community engagement, obviously in your new role, more of a enablement, I would say. And then, Justin, from a bonfire perspective, obviously the design of a network, future planning, how do you create something that is going to last generations, right? Not just, flash in the pan and it's done, right? We're going to move on. To your point of partnership, like, maybe how does it all work together? Like, you guys kind of start at the beginning all the way through. What's the best way, you can create partnerships like that? And are there other partnerships that the states or the local should be working on that we can help push?
I would say, like, I wish there was an easy answer to that, because everybody likes to say, oh, public-private partnership is how we're going to solve this. But then it's like, well, how are you going to form that, right? And
I deliberately didn't say those words because
I think it's really hard, because on the private side, it's like, well, who do we engage with on the public side, and how do we do this in a way that isn't going to take forever, because there's going to be so many stakeholders and so many decision makers, and it's going to take time. And I think on the public side, you look at it. Coming from where I was previously, you look at it and you go, how do I know this maybe service provider isn't taking advantage of us? How do we have enough knowledge to know that, like, are we getting a fair deal, that this is going to be equitable for us? Because I used to work for a tribe, and the tribe going, well, we're going to get this money, so how much of this is ours versus a service provider? But if you don't have a broadband background, how do you know what's fair? And I think there has to be a lot of conversation. Unfortunately, it's a lot of conversation. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of conversation to find the right partners and people that are, looking for true, like, equitable solutions, and not just trying to take advantage of, I'm going to get some free money to build some free network.
Yeah. And those conversations have to be transparent, right? And I think oftentimes in this sector, people are reluctant to say they don't know. And I think we have enough.
I think that's beyond the sector.
Right?
That's the whole country.
Right? But I think in a certain matter, as he was saying, you engage in transparent communications, and then when you get to an impasse or something where you just don't know, say I don't know, but don't stop there.
Yeah.
Let's put together smart people to figure it out. But I think you got to have that level of trust and communications to be able to address that, because there are a lot of smart people addressing this issue, from the service providers, from the grant community, from the community, local community. There are people, if we collectively come together, we can solve the issue. But I think we have to put egos aside.
Have a little humility.
A lot of humility. Recognize that some of this stuff, if I can say it.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Some of the stuff is going to be hard to do, but that doesn't mean we stop because it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
We would not have gotten to where we are in this country just because stuff is hard.
Right.
Right. So we should embrace that it's difficult to do, but still do it.
I was having a flashback to JFK's speech about the moonshot. We do things because they're hard, not because they're easy, right?
Yeah.
I
would say definitely, and to a big point, putting aside these egos, right? And I think I don't want to say accepting losses, but knowing that sometimes you're not going to be the solution.
Concessions, maybe?
Something that, knowing that you're, whatever we want to call it, right? Accepting that
you're not going to get the whole pie.
You're not going to get the whole pie.
You're not going to get the whole pint.
But remembering that it's,
not
not necessarily about you, right?
Exactly.
And, that being able to get past that, I think, is how it's really going to work, which, is a personal thing that maybe a lot of people will have to work on, but...
I think that's where the transparent communications come into play, right? I think the community, we worked a lot in the community. I think the community understands that they want their local service providers to be profitable. They just don't want to be taken advantage of, right? We want you to make money and make revenue and be able to build and scale and do all the things we need you to do in the community. We just don't want to feel like we're being taken advantage of or not getting certain technology deployed to us because of factors beyond our control. But absolutely, I think we can talk about it, and people have to put their egos to the side. And maybe you won't make all the money, right? But if you can still be profitable and make some money, maybe it's on you to then, develop a business plan for you to be profitable. Right? I don't know, but
Yeah.
it starts somewhere, right? You got to
Yeah.
start. You've got to start somewhere. I think transparent communications is a good way to go.
I think a part of that, and I say this to my nephew, to put on your listening ears, right? That you need to listen to what the community is saying. They know what their issues are. They know, what needs to be done. So being open and, not coming in with an immediate solution to problem solve, I think will be important. Listening ears.
Maybe we should all, take the hints from children, right? Brutal honesty, listening, all those things. The
Maybe
attributes
not
of
all the brutal honesty. Sometimes kids are ruthless.
It's not how you say it. It's not what you say. It's how you say it, right?